Service companies can grow, but can they scale? The answer is yes, but not unless you consider these 4 things. I've always said that service companies can't scale. They can grow, but they can't scale. Other companies can scale, like tech companies, product companies, or consumer good companies, but service companies grow. They don't scale. What do I mean by scale? Let's first talk about growth. If you're talking about growth, you're talking about something that's a linear path. It takes one more person to bill one more hour, one more unit of cost to bring in one more unit of revenue, and it tends to grow linear together. When we're talking about scale, ideally, you don't have to spend more to increase your value, your market share, your revenue, your profit, and instead you go, I'm getting more out of spending less. It's about increasing revenue faster than you're increasing your costs. So, can a service company scale? I used to say no, but I actually think the answer is yes. But what does it take? Number 1, scale your relationship management. The reality is that services are about people serving other people. And in the early days of a service company, it gets done on a handshake and remembering the person's face and name. But when you start talking about a service company that's looking to scale, you're dealing with an issue of volume. You've got more vendors to know, you've got more clients to know, more prospects to know, more contractors to know, and more employers to know, and more. Ultimately, you need to create a system, you need to find a set of tools that will help you keep track of this as data. So look at your CRMs, your customer relationship management solutions, your vendor management solutions, and your sales management solutions, and make sure they're making it easy for one person to manage a much higher volume of people to know. Remember, scale is about getting more out of less. So as you're growing your organization, you want to have the ability to manage the volume of prospects, the volume of vendors, the volume of employees without increasing the overhead on your team to manage all that. Technology, processes, and different approaches to managing all these people are really going to help you to do that well. Number 2, scale your expertise management. In the early days of any service company, it's about the founder or that early crew knowing the secret sauce of what you do really well. And you get the luxury of handpicking each person you want to work with, each new employee, each new subcontractor, each new vendor. As you scale, you have to replicate that across a larger organization. And that gets harder to do because you have more people that you have to hire, train, and then retain to make sure that you're providing that service at the quality that you know you need to. What you'll need to consider is really thinking carefully about the types of recruiting tools you're using. Are you matching skills to the needs of the organization? You're going to need to think about your training programs. Do you have a learning management system that allows you to train a larger workforce with less resources? And HR management platforms that allow you to level up the skills of your existing workforce. You might think about your vendor management system. Can I oversee a larger group of people and understand what the expertise of each vendor, each subcontractor is? And then ultimately, all of that connecting back into what is our secret sauce? How do these tools help us to keep that secret sauce even as we're getting to that level of scale? Service companies that are looking to scale do so because they become experts in how to recruit, hire, train, and equip and retain the talent that's going to allow them to do their best work. Number 3, scale your delivery management. Delivery is table stakes. People hire us to get things done, quality, on time, and on budget. What used to be done with maybe sticky notes on a wall or texting a few people or calling somebody and saying, here's what I'm planning to do, now has to be done with tools, technology. You need to be able to manage a larger workforce, a more complex workforce as your projects and your clients become more complex as you think about scale. Ultimately, there are lots of different solutions for buying, borrowing, or building your own project management system that's going to fit your unique needs in your service space with your secret sauce in the market that you serve. There are ways to do project management uniquely in each industry. There are tools for creative services, for professional services like IT and data and legal. There are project management solutions for construction, engineering, architecture. Almost any services space you can think of is going to have a project management tool or potentially a project management framework that you can apply to tools to help you get this work done at scale. Make sure no matter what you're looking at, you look for a tool that's going to help you to manage your timelines, your people, and your scope at scale. And number 4, scale your results management. You figured out a way to scale your relationships. You figured out a way to even scale your expertise. And maybe you figured out a way to manage all that so the work gets done so you can deliver on those results. But ultimately, what you have to do is make sure that you're scaling your management and your collection of the results that you're achieving for your clients. All services companies are looking for that flywheel. You do good work, which begets good work. People tell other people about working with you because you were able to deliver on those results, hit your time, your scope, and your budget. But ultimately, if you do not track that and measure that on an ongoing basis, you'll lose that story and it'll get lost in the shuffle of scale. Find a tool or find a method or find an approach that will help you to measure your results on an ongoing basis. That means through your account management, through your sales, through your delivery management, find ways to engage with your customer to make sure they understand the value you're bringing over time, and are they happy with that value over time. When a project wraps up, make sure that you retrospect to make sure that you know that that project went well and you hit the results you were intending to hit, and that you can do it again. Take that data from these results and apply it back to the flywheel. Look for ways to make sure that flywheel is spinning faster and faster and faster, leading to more efficiency as you look to scale as a service company. For any service company looking to scale, they have to be thinking intentionally about the management of their relationships, their expertise, their delivery, and their results. They really have to invest into technology, tools, and processes that are going to help to manage that scale. And ultimately, not everyone will be able to do this. A lot of companies will just go on the normal linear growth curve. For those unique companies that are going to stand out and grow with less, you have to consider these 4 things.